are back.
What's going on?
Another Quarantine Wednesday. Girl Chat Sports, Mo and Mel in our house.
We are live.
In the house. Going live. In the house. Shout out
in
to
the
all
house,
you guys
in the house, in the
us.
house board.
Hope you guys are having a good week so far. This is another quarantine episode. What is it, the fourth time we're doing the quarantine episode or our third time? Where are we at?
I think this is fourth or fifth. Gosh.
I don't know. The days seem to run together. I posted a meme about I don't know the names of the days anymore. Going forward, it'll be this day, that day, the other day, and yesterday, or whatever.
Hey, if you're watching, go ahead and start a watch party. Go ahead and share it to your friends on Facebook, Twitter. We're on YouTube as well right now, chiming in. So make sure you get in. Join us. We're excited that you guys are here. I'm sporting in honor of the dream team, my guy. Boop, 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 boop. Of course. And I see that you've got your beautiful t-shirt on.
I do. Oh, let me do it on this hand. The lovely girl.
Hey guys, I just want to make a quick shout out to everybody who's already purchased the Girl Chat Sports hat. We really appreciate the support, and they're still for sale. So if you want to DM us or send us an email, please do. There is a limited supply until another order is made. So if you want to get on this one, jump on.
Jump it on.
Hey, how are you doing, Mo? Because I'm starting to get claustrophobic.
You have a big house over there. I don't understand why you'd be claustrophobic with all that space you got.
I'm a Cancer. We need water, and we need to travel. We need to be within nature, kind of. I'm just not getting the whole nature vibe as much. I mean, I can only go to my parks around my house long enough.
Yeah, I'm good. I haven't had any issues yet. I'm kind of been in a good space through all this because that's all you can do, just try to look for the outlook, the better outlook, and hopefully all of us come out safer and healthier on the other side. And we can return to some new normalcy that we probably will have to adjust to and figure out and go from there. Just prepare for that, So I'm ready though. I'm starting to get a little bit of cabin fever. It's starting to get to me just a tad, but it's not crazy. It's not crazy.
Well, and it's almost kind of tough because, we went on a bike ride this past week. We went riding our bikes on the Las Vegas Strip, which was very cool. And we took a little video, got it posted on our YouTube. You can check it out there. But it's amazing just how different Las Vegas is. I mean, I was listening to the news today and they said by May, it's going to be like a 30% unemployment rate. I mean, the whole strip is shut down. We don't know when it's going to reopen. I know today Wynn announced that they were going to pay their employees till the 31st of May. So that kind of makes you think they're not going to be open for Memorial Day like they might have wanted to before.
Yeah, I kind of knew that was coming anyway. It was very presumptuous of them, but this takes a lot of strategic planning and smarts because again, and everyone needs to understand this is not just the country, it's the globe. So this is a global pandemic, and what that means is because of our city having a lot of international tourism, a lot of the borders aren't open, but you have to sell folks on the safety and comfortability of coming back to our city, being able to enjoy Vegas without having fear that something is going to happen to you coming if we open too soon, if we don't properly plan or do what we need to do.
Right.
So, I mean, I kind of saw that on the wall, so we'll see what June brings. But you never know. They make announcements, week to week. We'll have another announcement by the governor next week, and by the 15th, we'll see what else opens in that next phase of us getting back to Vegas.
I guess I just need to start planning a home quarantine birthday because June 30th, which is my birthday, may not be so open and ready. Or, I mean, think if I'd be open, but I don't know if I'm ready to go out because you see how George is doing it right now. They're all open.
George is getting their numbers from the Easter weekend. So we still have to have the Easter April numbers roll in. So we don't even have the opening weekend numbers yet. They are on Easter numbers. So everything is the month before the month we're in. That's how it works. You won't know. Hey, Jose, shout out to him. We won't know how that works until you get, until you get some kind of information, I guess, or some kind of real read on it. But from what they said on the news, it was the April Easter weekend. So for everybody that went and did the gatherings for Easter, now we're seeing that spike again because of the Easter weekend.
Oh, Lord. Shout out to John L. Shout out to the guys that were let the ball bounce.
Shout out to those guys.
Stephen
let the
Senior
ball bounce.
tuned in as well. So shout out
Great
to him.
show that
Ray
they
Bailey.
had last night.
And I missed it. I completely missed it. I don't know what day it is anymore sometimes. Well, I keep forgetting.
That happens. It's crazy.
It's too much. It's too much. I can't do it.
We wake up every day in our house and it doesn't change.
Never changes.
No.
There's your Cash App right there in case anybody feels generous. Most still waiting for earbuds.
We appreciate it.
We love it all. We love it all. We love it all.
So we do have a guest in the waiting room that will be joining us shortly. And this will be a good guest because this is someone from CCSD. So we never get any people from the school side of our city of Las Vegas. We're always talking to former athletes or current athletes or coaches, but we actually have a coach that is a local with us in Vegas.
Right.
Who can kind of give us an idea of what the new normal may look like possibly, or like what they've been doing as far as virtual teachings.
And a father as well, so he can tell us how that is for the homeschooling. That's
big time girl dad. He sounds like he has them very active, keeping them active as well and have them in sports. So,
well, let's get him on here.
Let's get him in.
Hang on,
Coach Raul. Hey. Coach Raul. Did I say your name right? Raul. Did he freeze?
We just know it's Coach F. I don't know.
Coach F works.
Hello.
Go by Coach F.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, let's see if we got him on. He was so big smile. Let's see if we can get him on again.
I don't know. I think his link might have.
No.
Hello?
We keep him waiting too long in the waiting room?
He was in there. No, technical difficulties.
It happens.
Oh, I think he might come back on. Let's see.
Okay.
Hey.
Cool. Very cool.
Hey, we got you.
Yeah, there he is. But it keeps.
Ladies, are you there?
Welcome, Coach.
Can you hear us?
Okay. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So you did send us a little bio about you moving to Vegas from quite some time ago. Are you originally from Chicago? Is that your home, or is that just your affinity of loving Chicago teams?
No, I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh, you are from Chicago. Oh, okay. All right. Very cool.
Yes. You know. Mm-hmm.
And so you coach locally here at one of the schools. You can shout out your school because you're repping your school fit there.
Yes. Manch Elementary.
All right.
Nice.
Over there by the Nellis Air Force Base. So we get a lot of kids from over there.
Okay.
Very cool.
Military brat.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask Coach, as far as the pandemic that we're in right now, I know you weren't expecting all these campus closures and schools closing and that kind of thing. And your realm is pretty much outside with your students. What is that looking like for you right now, like during the pandemic? Because I know some teachers are doing virtual teachings at home. Are they allowing physical ed teachers as well as coaches like yourself engaging with the kids for a few moments while they're at home, teaching activities that require anything to give them some exercise, kind of get their brains running?
Yeah. I mean, we've been contacting about 20, 25 kids a week, sending out instructions, like instruction memos on what to do. At Manch in PE, we were doing basic things like running, jumping jacks. I'm old school, so, sit-ups, things of that nature. So just basically contacting them, making sure that they're okay, and reminding them of the routines that we do in PE that they can carry on at home. Things like running in place, stuff like that, and videos that they can watch. So.
Okay, very cool. So now that the school session is over, what else are you getting yourself into, or what do you see yourself doing in the meantime between all of this?
Just family, we're going to be traveling to Chicago later on next month, and we're going to be there for a little bit. I have some kids that I'll be training also. So hopefully Chicago opens up so I can have more kids. But if not, then I have to probably limit it. to the amount of kids that I train, because I also do that on the side. But family takes up a lot of time, so that's all. Just making sure that the girls are okay and that they're keeping up with their books, and they're keeping up with their physical activity as well, because being in the house for a while, it could be difficult to move around. So yeah, I take them outside and they run the track, things of that nature.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Okay.
the kids that you're traveling to Chicago to train, what aspect are you training them in, and what is the end game with that?
Well, it's just the fundamentals of basketball. I got one kid who's a freshman, and another 8th grade kid, and a few more kids. Basically, just the basics of basketball. Just working with the basics, because we got a lot of kids that they watch TV. Big ups to Steph Curry, but that's not the reality of the way the game is played. Kids get out there and shooting 3-point shots. So I just work with them on the basics. If they're gonna do things like that, they gotta put in the work. I also give them something they can take away. So if I'm not around, it's something they can work on by themselves. It's fun. But it's all about giving them knowledge of the game, and also not taking away their natural attributes. So
that's great.
And you're the type of coach, I noticed that you seem, from what we're talking right now, that you're not the type of coach that rewards all your participants with just a participation award. They really have to work for it, right? Are you in that mind frame? Because it seems like now all the kids that are in little leagues or anything like that get these little trophies just for showing up, and they really don't have a way to measure their ability to be better or be great, because they still get rewarded. What's your take on that for yourself?
You know what? I don't know. You must be a sports fanatic to even pick up on that, because I come from the era where we go to the gym. There's no list to sign up. Somebody has next, and they picking people off the basketball court. If you got game, you hooping. If you don't got game, you sitting on the sideline the whole day. So you made that trip for nothing. But they changed the rules. They wanted it to be all inclusive. But a lot of kids, like you said, they're not putting in the work. They getting participation awards. Yeah, I'm not that kind of coach. Like I told you, my age, I'm old school, so I grew up in a different era. If you put in the work, then yeah, I'll reward you. And it's no secret that if you put in the work, you'll get better. It's just like I tell the kids at school about, hey, if you're not good at reading, if you get a book and read a couple of paragraphs extra every day at home, you'll be better by the end of the month. It's the same. If you can't dribble the ball, if you pick up the basketball every day and you dribble the ball at least an hour every day, you dedicate that every day, that hour, you'll be better at handling the ball. You're not gonna watch a YouTube video and automatically just be
great.
Work like
yeah, right.
So,
exactly. And I remember back in the day going to Doolittle, or like the YMCA over there. Shout out to the one over there by Meadows Mall. Had the basketball court stuff. You literally did have to walk in and sign up on a piece of paper to do any of those activities. Not only to get a ball, but just to see if you could ball, just to play with them on the courts. So I remember that having to earn a spot just to play. And that was
those participation trophies are really giving the kids a false sense of reality. Like,
yeah, they are.
I mean, that's what happens when we start seeing those kids that are in middle school, high school start acting out because they're not getting any playing time, even though they don't play for nothing and they don't practice for nothing.
But
that's exactly right.
It also takes away the competing side of it. Like it's taking away the competitive edge for the kids. They don't have anything to compete for. If they're gonna get a trophy anyway, they don't have anything to work for. And then that translates in life. Like in life,
Absolutely.
why should I do my best when I'm gonna get a award anyway? Or but I think with the times, a lot of things change. But like I said, I'm old school, and it's pretty easy to give the kids some insight and just to talk to them and let them know how things are going to go, because the reality of it is nobody's going to give you anything. So I think that we shouldn't give out participation awards if we're not going to give them any, if that's not the way the world really is. So.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So guys, anybody who have any questions for Coach F, tap on in. I guess it's a good as time as any. I mean, we could talk about some other things later, but this guy being a Chicago kid, I know you want to talk about Last Dance. We usually save it till the end, but we might as well just go ahead and get into episode.
Well, I did have one question for Coach
F.
In regards to being a girl dad. Now, are your girls in sports, and how has it affected you and your family with the whole quarantine, being locked down, homeschooling for so long, school being canceled for the rest of the year? How has it affected the home environment and just having to become not only the coach but teacher and I mean, everything's all now put into one 24/7.
Well, I was always that. My best friend I grew up when we grew up, he had 10 kids, and it was like my brother. So we sit around, watch games, drink beers, and yell at the kids, and then go to the basketball court with the kids, go to the hill, train the kids, all this. So he had 10 kids. So I was already prepared when I had my girls, you know, and they were introduced to sports early. They went to the basketball court with me. They played Little League basketball. And even now they've gotten into cheer. They're on travel teams, so they're doing cheerleading and all that stuff. I'm not paying for college. So it's too much you can do out here, you know, get an education. I'll buy you a car, I'll pay your rent, whatever, but I ain't paying for college because, you know, my oldest, she's super athletic already, you know. So it's just a matter of finding what they like to do and letting them stick with it, you know. But overall, they're pretty well-rounded girls, you know. They have like interests and different interests, and they're curious. So it's just a matter of just waking up every day. Just, I guess, I don't want to say this coming out of like nobody else is doing it, but wanting to be a father. Like I wake up, my kids sleep with me. They have their own room, but they still sleep with me, and you know, I just enjoy that because I know it's gonna be over with soon. So I mean, I'm cool. Sometimes they kind of get on my nerves because, you know, they're active, which is good, you know. But overall, with the quarantine, with those things going on, they've been great about it. I just feel that they're used to traveling, used to doing things because we go a lot of places. I want them to see a lot of things, and so I just kind of worry about them being in the house, and you don't know if the kids are depressed or anything like that, you know. So right. I try to pay attention to that, and but they've been handling it pretty well. I think it helps that they don't have to go to school. So
yeah,
for them.
Right. Okay, we can talk about The Last Dance.
Are you ready for that?
I was born ready.
You know what it is.
So I'll ask our guest, because I already know how Mel feels. We already know. But Coach F, what is your take on episodes 5 and 6? And what were your biggest takeaways? We'll start with episode 5 first. What was your biggest call outs on that episode? If you can recall.
They're all mushed together for me. I mean, everything that was in the episodes I already knew about.
I think you paused.
What's that?
No, I got you. What would you say?
No.
You don't have it, Mel? Oh, okay.
Everything I already knew about the episodes. Everything's kind of mushed together. Like what I really like is when they talk to Dennis Rodman. Okay, you talk about Dennis and the kind of player he was, how he sacrificed his game. And I'm gonna tell you, Dennis was a hooper. Dennis, you got people out here that just hoop. They not shooters. They not, you know, guards. They just out there hooping. They gonna get a bucket. They gonna do whatever. But see, Dennis is the kind of player, and this is what kids need to understand. Even though you can shoot the ball and you can dribble the ball, you got a better shooter. You gotta make the extra pass. If you know this guy on your team can shoot the ball, you gotta screen for this guy. You know, you gotta shoot the ball. Whatever your team needs you to do, if they need you to rebound, that's what you gotta do. Your time, if you're a player, if you're a hooper, is what I call it, you're gonna get buckets regardless. You're gonna get the recognition. So I was really keen on that because a lot of people don't understand the game and they don't understand what Dennis Rodman meant to that team at that time. You know, and then they also talked about the development of Scottie Pippen. You know, I think that Jordan was key and he saw who Scottie was and who Scottie could be, because I remember Scottie wasn't dunking the ball, he was just laying it up. And Jordan told him, man, you better start dunking that ball. And next thing you know, Scotty dunking on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
So what was the vibe you growing up as a kid in Chicago? You're pretty much the same age as Mel and myself. You're right there at the Cuatro Tres. I'll just put it out there. It's a great age. How growing up, seeing all this come into fruition, how was it as a kid for you? Because were you able to go to games? Because let's be honest, I didn't see a lot of us in that mix of going to games like that, unless they were up in the upper deck or in the cheap seats. You know, the lower bowls, all those kids that live in Schaumburg or up in the suburbs areas of Chicago that come down to the city. But as a kid, for you growing up, what was that all encompass? How did you feel knowing that you guys had a hero per se in that of Michael Jordan being as big as he was?
Yeah, you know, Chicago. First of all, Chicago, we're a bunch of hustlers. If you go to Chicago, you're gonna see people this summer on the corner selling bottled water for $1. You feel me? So us, we go to the games. Yeah, we might be in the up there, but we're gonna be down there by the second quarter. We're gonna be down there. You know what I'm saying? So we down there, you know, and you got the usher, he like, man, what's up? You throw him $10, $5, you know.
And you getting right on in. That's what's up.
Yeah.
We at the game, we outside, we wherever. But what Jordan to Chicago, it was something different. You know what I'm saying? He was a culture. You know, like I can't explain it. Like it's like no other athlete coming to a city. You know, Chicago is a bunch of people from the South, from the country, who migrated to find work in the meat factories, et cetera, et cetera. Jordan, a country boy who came to the city. You know, so people related to that, and he was an alpha. Chicago people, there's a lot of alphas in Chicago. We relate to that, and he was just. You know, it was electric. It was electric.
And so,
hey, Coach,
go ahead.
So let me hear your take on if you still have any bad feelings towards the Pistons, the bad boys, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, especially Isaiah.
You know what? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was a Detroit Pistons fan.
Really?
I was out there with the starter jacket and everything. Michael Jordan.
In Chicago?
We're going to have to end this podcast right now.
Listen, check it out. Isaiah Thomas was Chi-Town. That's what you got to understand. Zeke was work. We was working with Zeke before Jordan, you know. But when Jordan came, it was years and years. We was like, man, dude, tough. So, you know what I'm saying? I was rocking with the Pistons because of Zeke. But I was never a Bulls fan until Jordan. You know, I was never a Bulls fan until right. Jordan. I was rocking with Zeke. We was rocking with Zeke. You know what I'm saying? We was Pistons. Zeke was Chi-Town. He was true Chi-Town. He come back, you know, all that. We used to see Zeke. So, you know, I was a Pistons fan. So I mean, until they start whooping on Jordan, and then I was like, nah, y'all gotta come on, man.
So,
because that was a big story. That was a big story in episode 5 when they got the Dream Team. Because it seems, you know, clearly, Isaiah's still upset that his resume was good enough, but he didn't get the job. And so being able to kind of see that aspect and how basically it wasn't just Jordan who didn't want him on the team, or maybe he did or didn't, but it seemed to be that there was other people, but he kind of got the rap for it. Like it was put on him because of what happened with with the Eastern Conference Finals and his relationship with the Bad Boys. But I can't believe you were a Pistons fan.
No. So what do you think of that?
Listen, let's be clear. I'm sorry, let's be clear. I was a Pistons fan when I was a kid until Michael Jordan. Okay, more so a Zeke fan. Isaiah Thomas, Chicago.
Okay. Yeah,
okay, let's be clear.
I was gonna say because there's not too many Bears fans that would admit being Lions fans. Like those are like you just can't go. You know, like Bengals and Browns fans will never be okay. Browns fans, Steelers fans will never be okay.
In Chicago, Bears was king over the Bulls. So yeah, we all Bears fans. But what I'm saying is Zeke is Chicago. That was before Jordan. Zeke was Chicago, so we was rocking with Zeke. And then Jordan came, and then we started rocking with Mike. But that don't mean we not rocking with Zeke, you know, because Zeke do a lot for the community.
That's what I was going to touch on. You know, he made, you know, with Jordan making that statement about the Jesse Helms election going on in North Carolina, and his mom had reached out on a phone call regarding the endorsement of the other candidate who's Black, who was going against Jesse Helms, who has a history of all types of racial discrimination, not wanting to approve Martin Luther King as a holiday in the state, all of that. And Jordan's response with his stature of not wanting to at least get a few minutes to speak with the opposing candidate to kind of just see where he was coming from with the answer of, well, I don't know this guy, Mom, that you're talking about. I don't know who he is. So I'll give some money to it, but I just don't know who he is. Do you think that that was like a big miss with him as far as not being that community guy?
Yeah, Jordan really, I'm going to tell you something about Jordan. Jordan hung out with the guys in the hood. Jordan hung out with particular guys in the hood. Now, that's only because Jordan liked action. But Jordan, how Jordan grew up, he ain't grow up. Now, let's be clear. Jordan ain't grow up in poverty now. Everybody keep getting that mixed up. So he really can't relate to, you know, certain issues. He never really had to. So he don't know how to respond to those kind of issues. He never had the intuition or the want to even know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, he wouldn't even mess with certain people, but he messed with people in the hood because he liked the action. You get what I'm saying? Jordan liked to gamble. You know, Jordan liked to gamble. He liked to hang out with the guys. You know what I'm saying? He liked to talk his stuff. But Jordan was far from an activist. He not gonna get active. He never understood that because he didn't grow up like that. So that's what I'm saying. That's why we was rocking with Zeke in the beginning, because Zeke came from that, you know. So I mean, it is what it is. It ain't no knock against Jordan, but Jordan always had. So, you know, Jordan always had his background. He didn't grow up in the projects. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think of that dichotomy with him and Craig Hodges? Because it's so funny how he brings that up, but can't bring up the Craig Hodges thing, where Craig Hodges shows up to the White House wearing a dashiki, gives the president a letter, which, you know, I applaud him for the effort. But, you know, when they do those appearances, they're only photo ops. You're not supposed to even talk to the president on a one-on-one. You're not even supposed to pull him to the side. And it basically ended Craig Hodges' career. And he was a 3-point all-star with you guys in the Bulls. And it ended it till he got to the Lakers being an assistant for Phil with us when we won our 2 chips. But just to see how punitive that was in the 90s of what Craig Hodges was doing says a whole lot in comparison to Jordan not even mentioning.
Exactly. Craig Hodges sacrificed a lot. I actually played for Craig Hodges at Chicago State University back in the day. You know, Craig, he a cool guy. He's straightforward, and he about that life. So yeah, you gotta understand what kind of people, you know, these people are. You know, and like I said, to each their own. But you got some people that feel more strongly about issues than others, and just because they don't feel a certain way about an issue, don't mean they don't care. It's just that they don't know. They never experienced these issues, so excuse for lack of a better word, they ignorant to the facts. So it's like, oh, it don't affect me. And like I said, nothing against Jordan, but Jordan, he grew up in an okay household. He always had, you know. So I mean,
the never had to want for anything guy.
Yeah.
Well, one of the other topics I think was big on this episode 5 and 6 was the relationship between Kobe and Michael, that I don't think maybe some of the people within the sports community knew about, but not maybe necessarily everybody. And I think even though we had seen Michael deliver the eulogy at Kobe's service, I don't think many knew before then maybe just how tight or how close-knit they were, especially for those that are in the younger generation who are all team Kobe or team LeBron, and they always kind of make up this one against the other thing. And we saw how Kobe, you know, rest in heaven, he had this interview for this documentary just a few weeks or whatever before he had passed away, and we were able to kind of see what he felt about his relationship, and that, you know, to stop putting them up against each other, and that if it wasn't for Michael, there would be no Kobe and his 5 rings. What do you feel about kind of that whole message that was portrayed in this documentary between Kobe and Michael?
It's you know, it goes without saying. What's already understood don't need to be said. I mean, look at Kobe game, look at Mike game.
Yeah.
You had to know that Kobe, you know what I'm saying, was under the Mike Act. What we call it, under the Mike Act, you know, but not taking nothing away from Kobe because guess what? He's putting the ball in the basket. That's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you out there, no matter who you mimicking, you putting the ball in the basket. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kobe modeled his game after Jordan. That's no secret. Everybody know that. And Jordan, you know, he had a few kind words. Jordan couldn't help but to take Kobe under his wing. But we already knew that. You know what I'm saying?
How did you guys feel when Kobe surpassed Michael Jordan's all-time scoring record? It took Michael Jordan's 20 seasons to reach those 33,000 points or 32,000 points. Kobe surpassed it in 15. Were you guys feeling like that was like a knock to Jordan, or is that what you think started the catalyst that Kobe's better than Jordan? Because I never would try to do the comparisons of the two because their movements were very similar. But people were hating on Kobe because they thought he copied Jordan, which in essence he did, but that wasn't for a reason to hate. You know what I mean?
Mo, don't do that, Mo. We ain't doing that. I'm gonna tell you something. Jordan the GOAT. Listen what I'm telling you. Have you ever been to a game? If you ever see how this man, when he walk in, everything's changed. That's the true alpha. He was the true alpha. It ain't, man, he gonna get that basket. I talked to what's his name? I forget his name. Was it Craig Elo? One of those guys. And they came to the school and I asked him about Mike. He said, man, I know he missed shots, but it seemed like he don't miss shots. Mike, right. Now, when Kobe surpassed Jordan in scoring or whatever, we guys that know the game understand it's different times. You guys see the teams are scoring more, guards putting up more shots. And I go back to Zeke. And you compare him to Steph Curry. You think if Zeke had the green light like Steph Curry, Zeke wasn't going to get 50 a game? Come on, man. Right. The man scored like 30, 40 points on one foot, on one leg. So, in a playoff game. So, I mean, yeah, you know, that ain't no knock to who Jordan was. It's just different times, different right. Day and age of the game. The game is speeded up. You can't touch nobody. You know what I'm saying? At the top of the key. You can't put your hands on nobody. So it opens the game up for scores.
Well, Kobe came out of high school too, so he already had a couple extra years.
Kind of equally matched it to a certain degree, just the years of the 15th season. That's good. Good point. Facts. Yeah.
But I don't think Kobe would have passed Jordan if he'd have had them hands on him at the top of the key. Because they if you watch video, they trying to guide Jordan like this. They got hands on both hips at the top of the key. Jordan's still doing his thing. So
Jordan rules. Jordan rules.
Man, you gotta ask yourself the question. If you could put your hands on Kobe at the top of the key, it'll be different. LeBron, it'll be different. But these guys, now again, I ain't taking away none. These guys, great basketball players. Great.
But Jordan was out of the universe. I mean, let's be clear. That I don't think that's no gray in that. And I think everybody is great in their own special way. But that was just the universal thing that everyone could pretty much mutually agree on.
And I think we all saw it too when they started, when it was the whole when it was the 92 finals between the Trailblazers and the Bulls. I mean, Michael came out like, wait, you're trying to put Clyde Drexler in a room with my name? Like, nah, we're not having that. Came out and balled out. They said that, I don't remember the statistics, but you know, he hit them 6 threes that first half. And for that season, he'd only hit like 16 threes or long distance shots that whole season. So he came out the box ready to burn Clyde and be like, nah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Clyde did look like he was 50 on the court. Let's be real. He did look like
but you gotta understand.
Cat on that court too.
Understand.
I don't think that was a matchup. But what do you think about?
Clyde had a better team. Clyde had a better team, but you gotta understand, Mike, baby, Mike.
So what do you think about the treatment of them towards Tony Kukoc? Because let's get into that. The dream team they find out from Jerry Krause and everyone else that they want this guy, Tony Kukoc badly. And you see what they did to him that first game, how they annihilated this guy and how he's just unbeknownst, like, why y'all beating up on me? I think the message was for Krause to kind of not go there, especially with Scottie Pippen and the situation with his contract and how he was not getting paid what he should have gotten paid. And then here you go trying to recruit another person to possibly replace me. We're going to show you better than we can tell you. What was it like later on getting Tony Kukoc on the Bulls team? And how are you guys in Chicago feeling about that whole situation?
Oh, real talk. The guys knew Mike. Mike always looked for motivation. You know what I'm saying? Coach was gonna come to the Bulls anyway. He knew that, but every game, Mike, he tried to, get something to motivate him if he's not already self-motivated. So they was gonna go at Coach. That was all Mike. Scotty was already, you know what I'm saying? Scotty was already angry about the contract, so he was gonna go along with it anyway. But Mike, he always get things stirred up to get himself motivated. Whether it's in the fourth quarter or whatever, he might be having a slow game. Somebody say something, switch. But that was all mind games. They was that Coach, and then also that was to let Coach know when you come to this team, man, you third option.
Oh yeah.
But you were able to see in the documentary too how they actually then gained some respect for him after he came back in that next game and came back harder and played harder. So it was, obviously they're gonna give it to anybody that they think is gonna come with them. But after seeing how he came back that second game and played harder and more aggressive, I think that was a little bit easier for them to take maybe.
Yeah, it was, but again, the coach went to the drawing board and set up some plays for Tony. He ran him through 3 or 4 screens because they saw he wasn't gonna do nothing one-on-one, and they still lost by like 20. But yeah.
Well, there was no one was gonna beat him. Period. I mean,
But they knew Coach was a good player, and they knew he'd be a good addition. But I think it was all mind games, just to let them know,
And then I thought it was very interesting how retro the commercials are. Like the Mike commercial. I hadn't seen that in years, like decades.
I missed that. Yeah.
And the introduction to the Jordan 1s, the bread 1s. Jordan puts them on in the game. His feet are drenched in blood, like they hurt. And that's true because the Jordan 1s do hurt. I don't know anybody that can play in any Jordan, let alone a Jordan 1. And the fact that he was able to even accomplish that and have a stellar game with bleeding feet says a whole lot about a sneaker he's on the back of. So it just was an interesting documentary all the way around. I think.
Well, they even went over about how Air Jordan came about. Like he wanted to be Adidas. Like there was no Nike back then. Like if it wasn't for Jordan, there was no Nike.
No,
I'm a Nike girl myself. So yeah, that would be.
Well, now the athletes were the Converse, and now Nike owns Converse. That's why I say Magic Johnson always says this story about how you had the option to buy the stock with Nike before Nike was Nike, or go to Converse, and he went with the Converse thing because he didn't know about shares, he didn't know about stock. He literally regrets that to this day. And I can understand that because every time you look at a Nike thing, you probably want to be punching the air, because the phenom of Jordan, you just didn't see it coming. But it was just all in all a great documentary. A lot of people are jumping ahead and watching 7 and 8. I'm trying to watch it in real time.
How you doing that?
They have
people are sharing links.
Website. They have a link that you can watch it on and see the rest of the episodes. Because my brother, hi. Look at the diva. Is it Summer? Which one?
It's the Summer.
That's Summer. Hi, Summer.
Yeah.
Hi.
That's Mo.
Summer.
That's Mary.
Mo.
Mo and Mary.
Too cute. Okay. Summer is adorable.
She's like, Daddy, what you doing on the phone?
Right.
All she doing is eat all day.
I think that's all of us. Some of us. I'll say me. We go back to the kitchen every 10 minutes and have to figure out a physical regimen instead of going for snacks all the time. Right. But yeah, so the situation with part 6 where we get into the gambling situation, because he just didn't, do any social justice work, they still tried to find some type of scandal with him. And then that's when they brought up his whole gambling situation. And I don't think it was a thing of him having a gambling addiction. It could be viewed as that, but I think he had a competitive addiction. And whatever he wanted to do with competing at any cost. If he said it was just even as simple as a card game or golf or whatever, he had to put some money on it. It wasn't about him trying to take your money. It was more of a competitive nature of him. Just winning. He just wanted to win. Yeah.
He didn't care about the money. So I just thought that was a good,
interesting side of that, because I just didn't realize how deep that was. And then we didn't even talk about the final shot by John Paxson. Like, where he come from with that last shot.
Look.
It was nice.
I ain't taking nothing away from Pax. Pax can hoop. You feel me? Pax can hoop, but Pax wide open. Ain't nobody within 10 feet of Pax. I could have made that shot.
Come on. And it was happening all the time. I mean, he was always left open.
I mean, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Hey, look, Pax, he in the league, he can hoop. I get that. But I'm wide open. It's ain't nobody within 10, 15 feet of Pax. Pax line up with the rim and all that. You know what I'm saying? Pop a shot.
I think it was more the shock that he was able to get the last shot and be the closer. No one expects to be the hero except Jordan. You know what I mean? When it comes to that.
Yeah, Jordan had 3 people. Yeah.
Not during those years. That's the truth.
Yeah, you tell Ace, Jordan tell Paxton you welcome. Because hey, listen. If it was a one-on-one situation, Jordan taking that shot. But
absolutely. And then go ahead.
They chose to double. They was doubling off Paxton the whole game, the whole series. They was doubling off Paxton. So I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to say, "Hey, look, you're gonna be open. Here you go." You know. So, I mean, Pax's a shooter. Pax did what he was paid to do.
Well, you know what I also liked about it was the magic of magic, and actually seeing how charismatic, how personable Magic Johnson is. And how well respected even Jordan looked up to him. And when they were on that dream team, how it got a little chippy and tense with the game playing because they just didn't realize the dominance of Michael and his competitive edge of wanting to just do it right, win it, and at all costs, I'm shoving all of y'all out the way. Like he was saying the story of how they all got on the bus and quiet, and it took Magic to kind of break the ice and say, you know, that was good practice. And then they all just exploded because they didn't know what to say after that tense practice moment for the dream team.
He said it's the 90s now. Like y'all done.
Right.
Hey, but you got to understand. That's why Magic was a point guard. He's a true leader. He know how to move and he know when to get out the way. So Jordan was the man, but Magic was still the leader of that team because he knew when to let Jordan take over. But Magic was still the leader of that team, and that was the dynamic of the team. It would never be another team like that. Magic still was the leader of that team. You got to understand, Magic charismatic, baby. You know.
Oh, he is. He is Magic. Like for real. As soon as he has that $1 million watch smile, it's over. You melt. Like, okay, I'll believe you. I listen to you. Yeah. But it was a really great series. I didn't realize how in depth I'd get into it with it, but I'm really, really appreciative of the opportunity while we have a chance to kind of just take in this. Are your daughters watching, or are they familiar with Jordan or any of the young kids that you coach? Are you telling stories as far as them knowing? Because I know they're on a generational thing where they see all these current athletes.
No. My kids, my girls, they with the Michael Jackson thing. So they hooked on Michael Jackson, okay? Michael Jordan, not so much, but they're not really into basketball like that, even though my oldest is good, but she don't want to play because I coach. She said she don't want to play on my team with a bunch of boys. So I got to get her involved with another team that got girls, but she's really good. But with the kids that I coach, I try to make them understand. They with the Steph Curry thing. Nobody's understanding the things that LeBron is doing out there on the court. Nobody's respecting the basketball player. Everybody wants to be a Steph. Steph Curry has so much popularity amongst these young kids. He has so much influence amongst these young kids that it's just ridiculous. They don't know anybody else. So I don't try to train them up on things. I did have plans on showing them a few videos. I did break down LeBron's game with my team last year and showing them, you know, I was trying to show them the drive and kick method, things of that nature, understanding the pass more. So I use LeBron for that. But it's a different day and age, and the kids do need guidance because they're trying to start here, and they got to start. They don't understand. They got to start. You got kids that know how to do all the tricks in the world, but can't dribble the ball up and down the court. You know, so
right.
And, you know, I don't know what's with this no defense on the West Coast. Nobody plays defense on the West Coast. I mean, in Chicago, pickup ball guys play defense so hard they almost get into fights. Out here, nobody plays defense. What's with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a West Coast. I don't know.
One of those hey man, everything's good. We're laid back culture over here. It's not like the Midwest where you really have to, or the East Coast for that matter, where you're hustling, you're grinding on everything in life. And, like you're not, I don't know. It's just a different methodology, and everything is outside the top of the key. All the scoring now is at the top of the key. No one can drive in the paint.
Nothing in the paint.
Nothing in the paint. So it's just that thing with basketball now that's changing. It's not a ref thing so much. Yes, it is some faulty calls, but I feel like the game has shifted so much that the highlights we see on this documentary is what I loved most about basketball and what I miss most about basketball. You're gonna get hurt. You're a
true fan.
Huh?
I like how you think, Mo. You know the game. You're a true fan.
I love basketball. We're gonna get into football because Mel's a football girl. I mean, I love football as much. But even with them, they've changed a lot of rules. It's not the same. It's not what it used to be. And it's more health related than it is just because of the game. And I understand that. But just all these different play calls and rules, it just is just not what it used to be. And I just don't know, even where we're shifting now with the whole pandemic going on and possibly no spectators, what the game is going to look like with just them and their opponents on a field or in a basketball court. Like, what is that going to look like? Are the rules going to go out the window? Are they going to still have these same type of calls because there's no crowd there to kind of contest it or boo or shout? How is that going to look? What do you think that model looks like for us?
This is first of all, this is going to be temporary.
Okay.
We as human beings, we need that camaraderie. We need to be around other people. We need to be in the building. So that's not going to work. This is going to be temporary, and they're going to have to figure out a way to move forward, which I believe we will. We will move forward with that, but no crowds, not being able to go to the game, that can't happen because that's us. Even back in the day, BC, we had the Coliseums. You know what I'm saying? We got to be in the building.
Okay. We do. I feel like I agree with you. I just don't know what that model looks like. It's just interesting.
But I mean, wouldn't you also rather have something to watch now versus whether it be with fans there or not? Like, I want to see sports. I want to see the games. I want to see them live. I don't want to see repeats. And I feel like if that's where we have to start, then let's do it.
I agree. And I'm saying, yeah, let's start that way. And then we'll gradually move forward. But we need to be in the building. It's not, we're not going to stay that way for, forever.
Right.
They're going to, even if they're going to figure out a way for people to be at the game. That merchandising, everything's not going to survive if people can't say, yeah, I was at that game. Yeah, I saw LeBron,
That's true.
It's just a culture thing. We are.
Oh, did we lose Coach? Yep.
He just said, yeah, later.
I was going to ask him if we could follow him.
I think he went to probably turn a notification off or something and then probably exit out the whole thing. So we'll see if Coach comes back.
Yeah. So hopefully Coach will come back. But
I think he's back.
We got to fight this weekend, right? UFC 249.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Big fingers.
That's okay.
We were like, hi, stand by.
Where'd Coach go? Coach said his thing is split.
Look, these fingers are. So yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate having you on, and thank you for giving us the great insight from a Chicagoan, because while we're in real time with this documentary series, we love to hear from the people that actually lived in the city to kind of relate how that resonates in the memories,
Man, you know what? It was a time. And you know what? I'm glad. You grew up in the era of Magic Johnson, Jordan, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp. Come on, man.
And let's not forget Barkley. Let's not forget Barkley, because everybody was tweeting and stuff like, oh, I forgot how dominant Barkley was, or Barkley should have been the MVP that season, even though they won the championship during that game that year, that he should have been the MVP and stuff. And I remember Charles Barkley being that bully being that big guy on the court that's moving people over like a doggone freight train. He comes through. That's who he was.
Beastie. Beastie.
And it's just kind of reminiscent to all of us how we just kind of like forgot those little tidbits because we only see him on TNT and we forget about the game that he had. So shout out to him.
We see him twice the size now too.
Oh, of course, yeah, exactly.
Nobody thinks that he can move like he used to move.
Right.
He used to be throwing it down in the paint.
Right,
Hey,
exactly.
Those were the times, though. Those were the times. Jordan gonna always be the GOAT, no matter what. That's just the way it is. Not just because of how he played the game and how he dominated the game, but he dominated the era as far as his presence. He was a true alpha. Like, he won the game before the game even started. Like, he don't walk it. He don't get, okay, he count down from 50. I didn't get 50, but y'all be back next week. He walk in the locker room smoking a cigar. Who guarded me today? Who was doing that back in the day? Come on, man.
Yeah. His cigar thing was crazy. Like, how you do that, how you have card games the night before a game one of a finals game, how you have a golf match before. I mean, they do this, and I just didn't realize that this man is that phenomenal that he can go and kick it and still be ready for game day. Same with Rodman. Rodman's the same way. He never missed a beat. He could fly somewhere, play in Vegas, come back and play in a game and be no problem.
Yeah, that's the competitive edge. That's different era. You got guys missing game. You know,
man,
I could go on and on, but
I know. We could. I mean, it's a great talk. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. What?
Thank you for having me.
Have they said anything as far as the fall semester of schools for Clark County? I know we're kind of done for this session, but we may be done for the rest of the year. I believe that might be the case. But have they said anything else as far as you guys and what the future holds?
No, we're done. We're done for the year for sure. Summer school is going to be distance learning. I haven't heard anything about what's going to happen in the fall. I think they're waiting a little bit to see what happens here with the status of virus spreading. But for now, there's no. It's distance learning for the summer. They're going to do summer school, but it's going to be via distance learning. So
okay.
I would think that they may, just to be safe, start out the year in August with distance learning, and then gradually, I believe they were talking about moving forward with some students going to school on Monday and the other half of the students going on Tuesday. So, every other day. So that's what I heard, but nothing is written in stone. They're just looking at a lot of possibilities. So.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, we appreciate you. You're more welcome to stay on with us because we were going to talk a little bit of the weekend coming up. We got a big day tomorrow. NFL schedule gets released. I get to see who I know what our Raiders are, who our Raiders are playing. We just don't know when. And now we get to find out. And I'm super stoked because, I mean, this is what I'm waiting for. I've been waiting for this. We got Las Vegas Raiders team. I'm excited.
The official Las Vegas hats came out, the Raiders hats that you showed me.
Let me grab one real quick. Show y'all.
Raiders. But hey, we're all excited here in Las Vegas to have Allegiant Stadium, to be able to welcome and have like a new, real nice, stadium for these guys, and also for the UNLV team to be playing at, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, check it out.
Oh, you own that. I see you.
Well, here's a story. Because my brother ordered this for himself, selfishly, without thinking of me. But now he's thinking about me on a reorder because he says, I ordered a youth size. Can you fit it? So I put it on my head, and I can't even. And this is all the way to the last part of it. So it's a youth hat. So it'll pretty much be a souveniristic kind of thing. We'll just kind of sit it like that.
You can put in your background or something.
Yeah, like sit it up here on my shoulder. Yeah. Raiders. There we go. But I did hear some news, Mel, about Jadaveon Clowney possibly not going to be a Seahawk because the money.
Well, here's the deal. The Seahawks were still telling him that that he's still welcome to stay, but now he's going to be having to take even less money than they originally offered him because they made all these deals between being the free agency, the draft. They signed undrafted free agents. So it's kind of like you kind of had your shot. We're still here, though. You're welcome to still play, but it's not going to be as much. So it's going to be up to him. If he doesn't get any other offers, he needs to just take something.
He does. And then I wonder then if that's the case, how are they going to offer Marshawn, or what money are they going to bring to him?
Right. Well, and I think, Marshawn's agents are working at it. And it sounded like through Marshawn's interview, he was like, I'm down to play, but if not, I'm good. Like his chickens are taken care of. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he ain't worried about that right now. But of course, Seattle would love to have him back. It was interesting. Shout out to the guys on Behind the Mask podcast. They had Dwayne Brown on today, our offensive lineman, and they talked kind of about like, some of the changes that are happening within Seattle, because they did, sign and heavily sign a lot of offensive linemen and tight ends, and kind of what to maybe expect. So we'll see what happens. But then we're also in a part of the history where, these guys aren't able to have, they're not able to have their usual meetings or meeting face to face or being able to bond over dinner and whatnot as a team. Mm-hmm. And we don't know when that's going to really happen. The NFL did announce had a press release today about the phases for the state, or for practices and practice facilities, possibly starting around like May 15th, kind of figuring out where it goes, giving it some time to see what else may be open or how states are unfolding and reopening. But it's a tough time right now. Like, usually these guys are starting spring practices and doing drills together, right. Maybe not officially, but are able to get together. So we're at kind of a weird time. And it's going to be probably pretty hard for these rookies to get involved with the game by the time the season starts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just don't know how that looks for your team, my team, any of them, because you still got some crazy stuff going on in Dallas with Andy Dalton signing on for the $3 million for one season or whatever, and Dak still hasn't gotten his money and that kind of thing. I just laugh at that whole drama over in Cowboy country because it's crazy. Now, Coach F, are you a Bears fan, or are you moving to the Raider Nation?
Yeah, I can't rock with the Raiders. Sorry.
Who's your team, Coach? You got a
Chicago
team?
Bears all day.
It is the Bears. Okay.
Jim McMahon, the greatest quarterback to ever live, baby.
So what are you hoping for as far as quarterback out there? Because the Bears didn't decide to take up Trubisky on his 5th-year option, I think. So is there any hope for you guys on what you would like to see out there in Chicago?
I'm sorry, excuse me. Listen, this is what I want you ladies to understand. I'm not going to say his name. We had a quarterback before Trubisky. It was very traumatic to live through that time. Never understood it. Then we get Trubisky. I give him a little something. He tried, but it was like a repeat of the other quarterback. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, so he's getting divorced now.
Don't say his name, okay?
Jay.
Don't do that, Mo. Don't do that.
Like a butler, right?
Like a butler.
Yeah. So,
like where my knives are here in a cutlery tray.
But also we could have had two other draft picks before we got Trubisky, and I don't know what. Listen. If we draft who we supposed to draft in the beginning, we win the championship 2 years ago. We win the chip. We win it. The defense, oh my God. Now, those guys, they only last so long, they can't, So, I mean, I would hope to see in Chicago a legit quarterback and a deep threat. That's all. A legit quarterback and a deep threat. Now, the Bears, I have no confidence in them making these moves because they're the oldest franchise in the league. They're going to make money regardless. And that's a sad thing for these franchises when you just like the Cubs, you always going to make money. So you have there's no pressure to win. You know what I'm saying? Some of these franchises, they got to win to stay relative. But the Bears, they're going to always be the Bears. They're going to always have their fans. And so, I mean, I think we're getting caught up in that. So it's been hurting for a long time. And but it'll feel good when we come back. We had a lot of opportunities over the years that we squandered. But I think it's more of a personnel thing, And I don't know. We hiring these coaches from England and all this stuff. Soccer coaches, I don't know. We need somebody in there. We need Mike Dicker back. Bring back Mike Dicker. That's right.
Really, Mike Dick.
The
Really?
Bears. The Bears.
You
Mike
gotta
Dick have
understand.
been gone fishing. No, that's not happening.
That's true.
That's
Yeah, but
not.
we need a legit coach though. We need a legit coach that's gonna commit. That's gonna come in there and do the job. And we need a offensive coordinator that's gonna come in there and open the offense up and not put his ego over the game. Because the game is also changing. In the NFL, the players get faster every year.
And we're seeing a different run game with the quarterback position. It's not a stay, plant your feet, maybe quick scramble, but it's a run game now with a lot of these quarterbacks. So that whole dichotomy has changed. I don't understand, and I'm still trying to figure this mystery out, why Cam has not been picked up yet. Not say he was a running quarterback, just to saying he was one of the elite quarterbacks that refuses to be not a starter, but come off the field. Like, I can't even think of the term I want to say. Second string quarterback. Yeah.
The backup.
We would benefit greatly if we were to pursue Cam Newton. We would benefit. Cam got some life in him, and we've never. I mean, over the life of the Bears, I don't remember us having a quarterback, Doug Flutie, but I mean with the skills that Cam and the size and the speed and the arm and experience. He got some playoff experience, but I don't think the Bears, they want total control. I don't think the Bears want to deal with Cam, with his antics.
Well, I think no one does.
I was going to say maybe.
I mean,
right. Well, and also, he could be similar, like maybe like Dennis Rodman. Like, you got to find the coach that's willing to coach you, willing to able to work with you. So he needs to find that coach that's able to work with him. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of teams that are starting quarterback right now.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point with that. You really do.
Right.
Well, I was expecting him possibly if Cleveland would have picked him up. I feel like that would have made better sense for him to go over there and maybe push Baker over to the. I just don't see it. I don't like Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's
not a leader, but hopefully
he's not
he can
a leader,
develop
but hopefully he can
one.
grow into it. I mean, in a role to be better, but
yeah. Cam need to come over. Well, go over to Chicago. That's the most logical fit for the guy. But again, NFL, they like to, punish people for their behavior. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh yeah, they absolutely do. And also rest in peace, Don Shula, Miami Dolphins head coach, winningest coach. I wanted to send that out there. That's kind of Mike Dixon is the only Dolphins fan I know. Sorry. He was the first one I met, and he's the only one I know, and I've only known him for 2 years.
Legitimate Dolphins fan.
He's the only one I know. So it is tough. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I do know that Don Shula was that guy, and hopefully this season with their new pickup that they have in their draft and their quarterback and everything, that they probably can they might have a ghost of Don Shula come and transcend in the Dolphins, and you never know what the Dolphins' outcome is going to be this season. Stranger things have happened, so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey,
before we get out of here, Mo, is there some UFC news you want to talk about?
Yeah, 249 is actually this weekend in Florida. Yes. Let's see what that looks like. That's going to be the first UFC match that hasn't been, well, they've all been postponed, canceled, pushed, all that kind of stuff. But this one is actually, and they actually had people come in and fill in to these card fights, but most of the cards are really good cards. This is supposed to be like a loaded loaded competitors on these cards, and it's going to be really, really good. They got a bantamweight match, and then they've got the one right before that. And I was trying to look up the fighters that are fighting in this match, but it's going to debut this Saturday, I believe, either Friday or Saturday.
Saturday from Jacksonville.
Yes, perfect. So we have something to watch. If we don't have anything else, we got UFC, and I'm very curious to see how that looks because. With COVID, there's blood on the canvas, and I know we take it for granted when we see it, but what's that look like for the next opponent to come in that ring with that on the can? How's that look? I'm just worried. Like, what's that look like?
They broke down a couple of the rules of implementing. So like there's going to be no interviews inside the octagon. There's the broadcasters will be sitting at different tables. All crew members will have N95 masks and gloves. They're actually going to work on disinfecting in between fights, which I think would be huge. They also reportedly have over 1,000 COVID tests on hand to ensure that the fighters and staff are all tested.
Well, that's
and safe.
good.
So, and the other thing too is here in Las Vegas, the South Point Casino has decided to open their sports book mobily, and so that gives people the opportunity to start betting again.
Oh wow! So on the mobile app, they can bet. That's good. That's really good.
You do have to go to South Point Casino first to fill out the forms and provide your ID, all curbside. But once you get set up, it's kind of like the rest of the apps out here, like the Station Casinos or the William Hills or the Westgates. It's similar to all that, but now they're going to have their own, and they're the first ones to do it. Hey. So it'll give those people itching to bet something to do.
Yeah, and that'll raise even, is this going to be a closed circuit, or is it going to be a pay-per-view thing, or is it something that we can all watch? Did they say?
I believe this one is pay-per-view because I know that they have the fight nights that are going to be May 13th and May 16th. Those are also still in Jacksonville. I believe those ones might be free. I'm not positive though.
Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm just a little disappointed because I really wanted to see the Amanda Nunes fight, and now they got postponed to the June 7th.
I know. Yeah. And I hope that one goes into fruition. And then Dana White is still talking about the island fight. So he's still on the island. He's still wanting to do that
island,
combat island fight thing. So I'd be curious about that as well. But we have to say so long to our fellow Las Vegas ace behind the scenes person, Rusha. She is now going to be going to the LA Sparks in an executive role. For the Sparks.
Oh, really?
Yes. They announced it today. So Rusha is no longer with our lovely lady Aces, and I know she's done great work with them, but she is on to a new adventure, new chapter. We wish her the best in her front office role with the LA Sparks. I'm trying to look up what that title is, but we can always post it in our story. So, congratulations, congratulations to her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Coach F, is there like a social media that you're on that if anybody wanted to follow you, they can look you up, or if you want to give us your handle or anything?
You know what? I gotta get one because I you know, I'm not big like that. You know, I'm old school, so it take me a while to, you know, get acclimated to all this technology.
I know, because Mel's so funny. She's like, "Did you see the social media thing?" I was like, "Wait a minute, I gotta try and look for it. I don't know if you got one." And then I had to text
the one that I created was only so I could correspond with my friends and stuff like that. It's nothing that what it should be. So I need to create something so I can move forward with that. So I might need some help with that. I don't know.
Because if we God willing, get back into our studio that we normally house out of, shout out to Gorilla Cross and Quan, our producer. He's still our guy.
We miss you, Quan.
We would love to have you be back on, especially when we roll into the football season and talk Bears, because to me, honestly, you're the only local Bears fan I know right now, Coach.
Let's go with it.
Oh, actually, you and another guy. I know one other one.
We have a few Bears fans. We have a few Bears
I know
fans.
I know a handful of Bears fans.
Yeah.
But I would love to come back on with you ladies. This is fun.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Man.
Absolutely.
All right.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, you too.
You too. Bye.
Man,
so Cassandra just chimed in too. So Rusha's title is Director of Community Relations and Youth
Sports. Oh, congratulations to her on that. Thank you,
Cassandra.
Yeah.
The Sportsnista in the house.
We have to get her on too during the quarantine life. We'll get her on.
Listen, Cassandra, I heard that Derek Carr be practicing in the field somewhere out like Henderson or South Vegas.
Highlands, so it's every park.
Shoot me the DM. I just want to know what park it was, because I am gonna roll up on there one day.
How you gonna roll up?
Take Sook for a little walk. I'm gonna take Sook for a walk.
How you gonna roll? He's a Raiders dog, so I need you to come and get.
He is a Raiders dog. I'll wear him. I'll get him his black. Yeah, he'll wear his black handkerchief.
Yes, perfect. Yes, yeah. They have been training out there, And it is sad to see her go. Like I said, she did great work with the Aces, but you know, we always have to keep going, moving up forward. So we'll still be rocking with our girl. We'll see how she does in LA, and I'm sure it'll be a great adventure for her, new venture for her, I should say. But thanks for putting that number up again too.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm really, you know, you posted the whole Cinco de Mayo thing with the tribute for like the lights. I miss going to soccer games, and I don't think I've ever would have thought I'd be able to say that in my life. Like I miss soccer games.
I miss the
ladies. The first WNBA game for our Aces was supposed to be the 17th of May.
Mm-hmm.
That's next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. We're in a crazy time, man.
Well, they're saying the Premier League overseas is actually going to kickstart the football season for them. One of the Premier Leagues is actually benchmarking going forward with their season, because some of the countries across our pond are actually very contained as far as the virus is. It's not a high spike. It's actually, the curve is almost flattened. So a lot of these teams a lot of these leagues are actually making an effort to provide these athletes with games, and spectators can come. I know, was it somewhere in the Philippines they were talking about having basketball tournaments and that, and they were kind of trying to.
I don't know. I know Korea started baseball yesterday.
Yeah, Korea was starting their baseball league. Yes.
And one of the guys on the team is from Las Vegas. So nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, interesting.
Cool. Very, very cool.
So, you know, I'm getting excited for this weekend for 7 and 8 episode coming up. I'm excited to see kind of how the rest of this story unfolds. And shout out to Thomas Mason. He's put together the soundtrack for me maybe not just for me, but I feel like it's for me. He put together the soundtrack for basically every song so far that's been on Last Dance. He put it into an Apple Music playlist. So
I love it.
It's amazing.
Because as soon as they played I Got It Made, that is Jordan. You know, Special Ed's I Got It Made. That's my song. I'm your idol. The highest title.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, anyways, you guys, that's our show for today. We're still in quarantine. We'll still be in quarantine next week. So catch us back here Wednesday, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern time. Feel free to reach out to us via Gmail or on our DMs. Don't forget, we do have the hats for sale. What's up, Becker? Becker is in the house. Bex. Yeah, the playlist was fire.
Yeah, the soundtrack to this, they're going to sell a soundtrack to it. I know they are. It's going to be fire.
Okay.
But for Thomas to do a custom one, that's dope. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's our show. So
you guys, thank you so much. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Tune in next time.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.